Welcome, everyone, to the Fixed Ops Roundtable After Dark. And we are here from the 1920s.
And how do we do that and be live at the same time, Kara?
I mean, maybe we're magicians, Ted. Who knows?
Maybe
Ted always pulls off magic tricks at every Fixed Ops Roundtable, so I would not be surprised.
Well, I have a lot of help, everybody, with that magic. And good evening to everybody. Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Kara, welcome to you as well. You look amazing tonight in true roaring. You got the gloves, Roaring 20s theme. You got the pearls going on, the headband. Wow.
I am feeling the Roaring 20s theme, Ted. This has been one of my favorite themed events yet, and I'm super excited about the next one, too.
I am as well. Good evening, Joe Porter. Sean Butler, yes, a wardrobe malfunction, more of mine, okay? Certainly not Kara's, because she would never allow that to happen. And Tim Wilson, good evening as well. By the way, I had our good friend Allison Landis on with me earlier today, and she was doing this whole thing on direct mail. And by the way, she had the headband going as well. Good evening, Allison, if you're around. And we found out about direct mail in the 1920s. She did a little fact checking, was delivered by motorcycle. How about that?
How cool.
Yeah.
What happens when it rained?
I guess they dealt with the elements, right? Neither snow nor rain nor gloom of night, Robert, right? We remember that on the post office. Here in New York, Kara, at the old General Post Office across from Madison Square Garden, that is written in stone right above the post office that will not deter them from their appointed rounds. Tony Owens, how did I do?
Wow. I'm like, here's your soggy mail. That's what I'm thinking. You got it either way.
You got it either way. And I want to thank very much tonight our exclusive sponsor at all the After Dark shows. It is the great BG Products, Partners Beyond Products. I want to thank BG for all that you do for our industry. I continue to learn a whole lot about automotive, even after all these years in it. And Kara, there's nobody like BG. In fact, I saw on the Monday night show when we had John Traver here that Bob Tasca, won that big Topeka National, and he was driving that BG Mustang.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool to me. I mean, Bob Tasca is already cool, but let's be real. I mean, what a great accomplishment. How amazing that he's all BG'd out, like I said the other day. I love that. So congratulations to Bob Tasca and BG.
Yep, and that is going to be a phrase I think we're going to learn to use over and over. He is BG'd out. Look at everybody on his team, Kara. They're all BG'd out, including the vehicle.
I love it.
Wow. Maybe that'll be an event theme coming up, being BG'd out, right?
BG'd out. I mean, Bob Tasca started a trend and he didn't even know it.
All right. So, and you and I are dressed up. We're in Roaring 20s mode. And there's a reason for that, because we have a big event coming up in September. It's going to be here before we know it.
It is. It's September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And we are so excited, guys. So get your complimentary tickets now for the Roaring 20s Fixed Ops Roundtable at fixedopsroundtable.com.
I can't wait, Kara. And just looking at some of the guests that I've had on the event, because we've recorded some of them, we're not going to have any trouble with the Best Dressed Awards. Steve Greenfield was here today from Automotive Ventures, and you got to see him with the Derby and the whole thing going. Marco Zwanenberg, Sean Kingery, Tully Williams has a fedora like I do, and just really great get-ups. And Julie Douglas from Dealer Pay. So some great stuff on there.
I'm glad I'm not the only one dressing up. Has anybody wore a wig yet, though?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Was it you?
What's that?
Was it you?
No, it's not me. Jeez, but I may have to after the next event, from what I hear.
I'm saying Ed Roberts has it coming to you, so you might need a wig, Ted.
Yeah, I might have to invest in one or get one from somebody I know, Kara. Mark Mickens, good evening. Great to see you tonight. So, Mark, you and I were on the phone early this morning. Mark Mickens here in New Jersey. And Mark, what you don't know is that shortly after I spoke to you, Mark, I got a text on my phone with a photograph, and it was a vehicle, a disabled vehicle on the side of the highway, okay, on the I-45 in Texas, Mark. And a certain young lady had a, you want to share the story with us, Kara? Because you had a tough morning today.
Oh, today has been a great day, but I'm still smiling. I'm blessed to have a vehicle to drive. I will say that first and foremost. But I left my house pretty early this morning because I have a young lady here from one of our Wichita Falls stores training for some marketing and advertising stuff. So I was coming in early to meet her and kind of get started with the training today. And I live in the Woodlands, so I get about 10 miles from where I live through Conroe. And I always drive with my music blaring and, getting pumped up for work. And all of a sudden I hear this weird sound and I'm like, that doesn't sound like this song. So I'm like, what is that? Turn down the radio. And then I notice my car is a little sideways and I'm going, there's something wrong here. But all my sensors were fine. So I'm like, this is weird. And my car is just doing a nosedive there.
Yeah.
So I'm going, oh no. I'm in the left-hand lane because I like to drive fast on I-45 all the way to Madisonville.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get over to the right without getting hit by cars going 95 miles per hour because it's Texas on I-45. And I'm over an overpass, and I can tell at this point, I am probably driving on my rim, but I wanted to make sure to get on the right side and over the overpass before I stopped. So I finally come to a stop, and then my car enlightens me that I have 0 tire pressure. And so I don't get very far off the shoulder of the road. So I'm going, these semis are getting really close to taking my driver's side mirror off. So I didn't feel very comfortable. I peeked out, opened the door, and looked down. My tire's completely flat. And I'm like, oh, great. So I get back inside, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to change the tire. And then another car.
Wait, you yourself would change the tire?
I was going to change the tire, yes.
And you've changed tires before?
Yes.
Okay.
And for some reason, I seem to always have tire problems. But
lately,
another car almost hit me, like swerved a little bit. And I was getting a little nervous at this point and decided it was not a good idea for me to get out on the interstate and try to change my own tire. So then I'm sitting in my car, trying to decide what I'm going to do. So I call Eric, my boss. He doesn't answer. I call Christy, our right-hand lady. She doesn't answer. I'm like, okay, I'm going to call the mobile service guy at Ford. He doesn't answer. I'm like, what is happening? Everybody must be at a meeting early this morning. And Eric calls me back. I'm like, I'm stuck on the side of the road, Eric. I'm like, send somebody. And so they were like, okay, we'll figure out, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. I just need somebody to stop behind me so I can change my tire with their flashers on a little further behind me so that the people coming over this overpass don't hit me not paying attention.
So you're in a bad spot.
Oh, yeah. And 3 cops passed me. No help. So next time I get pulled over, I'm going to remind them. And then I decide I'm going to call roadside assistance through my insurance company. Call them. They say they'll let me know. Then I get the bright idea. I'm going to call the Audi store in Houston. They're closer to me than our stores here in Madisonville. Call them. And I have to say, we don't own this store. Foundation Automotive does not own this store. But I have to say about the Audi store in North Houston, they called within seconds of me submitting a claim to them. And the call I got was a technician that said, I'm in the car and I'm on my way to you. Can you explain to me where you're at? Wow. He said, I'll be there in 35 minutes. That store is 35 miles from me. talk about the best service experience. And I'm talking about a store. I don't know anybody at this store. You know, maybe I should go thank them. And this technician shows up, calls me again, makes sure that I'm in the place that my phone is showing. And he parked off to the side, helped me change my tire to block the traffic for me. And I said, I am not a prima donna. I was just really scared to change my tire on the side of the interstate. And he told me, he said, do not ever change your tire on the edge of this interstate. I've watched too many people try to do that and it not end well. So I'm glad that you called me. And I got on my way in my donut of an Audi and made it all the way to Madisonville to our service department and ordered a new tire. So got to work a little late, but I made it. And you know what? I got to interact with another automotive company today and saw just how important it is to have top-notch customer service in your service department.
What a story. And let's give a shout out. What dealership was that again that helped you?
I believe it was Sewell, but I'm not sure. When he called me, he said Audi of North Houston.
Okay, yeah. All right. That's the store. Wow.
Yeah. And I have to say, the technician was extremely, extremely kind. And, you know, reassuring me that he was glad that I called him. I got a follow-up text as soon as I pulled away that said, did you get your service or do you need further assistance? I replied with the Y for yes and went on my way. So it was really great. Thankful for people that come to you, because no telling how long I would have been there with roadside assistance, you know, calling my insurance company or waiting. I would have waited for somebody to come get me from our stores, but I knew it probably would be quicker to call somebody in Houston.
Wow. And we are glad, Tim, that she is safe. And David, you're right. Great customer service there as well. But Kara, you know, that really describes what happens, you know, in the real world, right? Because these things happen at the worst possible time in the worst possible location. And and you worked your way out of a jam there, but it was inconvenient, super dangerous, right? And you know, thank goodness for that mobile service unit that was able to rescue you this morning and get you safely off that highway and then on your way back to work.
The only thing I was sad about was once I started driving off, I was like, man, I am Cara Delane. I am all over social media and I did not even get a picture with this guy that just saved my day. And I didn't do it. And I was so mad, but I think I was just so focused. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I got to get to work. I got stuff to do. And I didn't even think about it, but I wish I would have. But I will definitely leave them a great review.
That is something you would do. I know you. And
I'd be like, this guy's great. He's changing my tire.
So, and again, this is not the first time you've had some tire problems, right? That came up suddenly.
Which is weird. Because the last time I had a flat tire was almost in the exact same spot, but southbound instead of northbound. So I'm like, what is on the road in Conroe, Texas? Because it was fine when I left this morning. And I mean, not a slow leak. I mean, 100 to 0. And I needed to stop. And hopefully my rim is okay. He said it was, but we'll see.
Okay. Oh, I hope so. Brooke Furness, I saw you a little bit earlier today, and Brooke was on one of the panels, Kara, that we did. It was Brooke, our very first, not a super panel, Kara, a mega panel that she was on. And we had a very special moderator on there named a good friend of yours, Joe St. John. Oh. And Joe St. John rocked it today with this panel. And Tully was on there, Ed Roberts was on there, Steve Apicella. Brooke, I think we had like 8 or 9 people on that, right? And I saw that you posted some photos on social media. By the way, Brooke is going to be very likely, you know, if not a winner, certainly a runner-up, but on the Best Dressed Award. So great job today, Brooke. But Carol, wow, what a story. Wow.
And you know what's crazy, Ted? Why on earth? You know, it's embarrassing enough to be driving around on a donut. Do they have to put bright yellow stickers on your spare tire just to advertise to the world that, hey, I had a flat day?
are you that subconscious
I
that you
know.
worry about the sticker that someone's gonna say, oh look, that girl has a donut that she's driving on. I don't
I
think you're gonna do that.
did I send you the video this morning of me?
Yes, you did send that. Yes.
I
With the
said
start with the Starbucks after you got rescued.
I told Ted, I was like, well, after I sat there for a while and tried to figure it out, and I needed a bathroom break to drive another 45 minutes. And I was like, why not stop at Starbucks? And I made a video coming out laughing at myself. And I was like, I don't know why I think this is so funny. I was like, this is so funny looking. And this would happen to me twice, like back to back. And I'm rolling around on the same donut. But at least I had Starbucks in hand.
Yeah, the Starbucks saved the day. And Tony Owens, I think you're right. Ed Roberts would somehow have made it happen. B-top, which Tony, you're missing the hashtag part of the B-top there, but we'll forgive you. Mark Micken says, so important to have a mobile service option to help your customers. It's a great added value to your dealership. Mark, is it ever? Kara, this is the unit. Look at that. Wow.
It's a hot girl summer, Ted.
I saw that. Yeah. Oh,
It's so
geez.
small. It's almost like a bike tire.
Well, at least you have a, even if it's a donut. In my vehicle, I don't have any kind of a spare at all. All right. They have but I have those tires I told you about, the run flats on there where you can drive, in your case, it wouldn't have been enough.
I need some like steel tires at this point. Yeah, you heard it here first. If they make
Well, again, we are glad that you are safe, and but real world, everybody, right? The experience that Kara went through this morning, and women consumers, men consumers, it can happen to anybody. And your vehicle is not a very old vehicle now, is it? That looked pretty new.
It's not even a year old, and I was like, man, I'm buying another tire today. This is not fun. And yeah, I don't know what I ran over, but it looked really similar to the last time that it happened. So I don't know what is going on. It wasn't a screw. It was a whole gash right in the center of it. So I don't know, but it wasn't fun. But I always say sometimes things are a blessing in disguise, because that technician had no idea that I worked at a dealership and, really valued his customer service and stuff. But I was like, I haven't experienced that outside of our own dealership. So it was kind of nice to get a real life customer experience from another dealership just to be able to talk about it today.
Yeah, and my mind's already spinning because you're going to be on at least one panel at the upcoming event on the Fixed Ops Roundtable. There's a Women in Automotive panel, and Repair Pal is doing a panel on the women consumer. And Repair Pal deals with these types of issues, including not just dealerships, but repair shops as well. And that might be a place to help share this story and get some more insight also.
Yeah. I need to call that store back and ask them who the technician was and personally invite him to the show.
I think that should happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
As well as a great review online too, right?
Of course, yes.
Wow. So we've learned a lot today about tires, about mobile service, about safety, and we're so glad that Kara is safe with us here tonight. And Samantha Foster is with us tonight from UVI. And Samantha, yeah, we need to take that car through the UVI scanner, right? And because UVI can detect stuff like that, right?
I need it. And I actually told somebody later today that I wish I could do that. And I was talking about Samantha actually, and I was like, I know this girl, and there's this really cool technology that would have told me if something was wrong with my tire. And that's funny that you say that, because I was literally talking about you guys earlier today.
Samantha, I happen to have, Samantha, that video queued up, okay? And do you mind if I show that? It shows what that technology looks like?
Let's see it.
Because originally tonight, everybody, we planned to talk a little bit more about UVI, and we did have some technical difficulties. But I have, Samantha, at UVI, this video queued up, and let me show you what that looks like right on the service drive.
It's so
So Samantha, that I believe we would call the UVI Artemis. I believe that checks the tires, and that's probably not a bad thing to have done to the vehicle.
Yeah, and I was explaining it to Ivana, the girl that was here from Wichita Falls today when I was talking about UVI, and she was like, "I haven't ever heard of this." She's a little newer to automotive, and so I'm explaining it to her. And you know what I referred to it as, which I don't know if this makes any sense to anybody else, but I said it's almost like getting an MRI of your entire vehicle.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it because it
That
checks
was my
everything.
best way to explain it to her because I didn't know all the technical terms. So I'll let Samantha tell her sometime.
Samantha, and again, you can chime in as well, but I think that's very much what it is. And you're right to check that vehicle out. And Samantha says, yes, the Artemis checks the tires. So that sounds like something that would come in extremely handy. And that is, David, a great piece of equipment as well. So real strong. Wow. Super stuff. Wow, wow, wow. And Brooke Furness is sharing a story with us as well on her family and flat tires. And yeah, restores our faith in humanity, right, Brooke? So, very grateful to that technician. All right. So, Kara, yeah, amazing stuff. And Mark Mickens, I agree. That is very efficient, right, Mark? And very impressive as well. So UVI does a great job. We are going to have UVI at the upcoming Fixed Ops Roundtable. They are doing a panel, Mark, not just on that technology for the service customer, but also how it's used on used cars, Kara, when the dealership buys from the customer or buys them at the auction, to check those vehicles out as far as what it needs for reconditioning, which I think is a pretty smart thing to do, Kara.
Yeah, we need one right next door to my office in our recon center.
Yeah.
Maybe I should walk through it. What would it tell me about myself, Samantha?
Samantha, I'm thinking she needs one in her garage. What do you think? All right.
Apparently. Oh.
All right. So we have that great show coming up. It is in September. And do you want to share with us again, if you don't mind, when that is?
Yes, I hope everybody watching tonight is going to attend the Fixed Ops Roundtable, the Roaring 20s, on September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. It's going to be an online, all virtual event, so everybody is welcome. So you can get your complimentary tickets now at fixedopsroundtable.com.
It's going to be a great show, everybody. This is undoubtedly going to be the best one that we have ever had. We've got some amazing talent, a lot of folks back at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, and some new people as well. And we're going to see a lot of this technology, Samantha, exactly like an MRI for your vehicle. And way to represent us, Kara, right? So make the best of it.
Well, we're excited, Ted, and I can't wait to see everybody's outfits throughout the next few weeks that are dressing up. I am a huge supporter of the outfits, guys. So make sure if you want to dress up and try to compete for the best dress contest, you do so. And don't forget, Ted, they can catch all of our previous shows, this one tonight, live, or the replays on our YouTube channel, now at our Fixed Ops Roundtable YouTube channel. So subscribe to that, guys. And if you miss anything or you're busy while we're live, you can watch the replay there.
Great. And that just adds to our social media domination. And we recently just opened, in addition to YouTube, we're now on a new platform, Kara, TikTok.
Ted is on TikTok. I haven't got him to do a TikTok yet, but it's going to happen.
Well, actually, she suggested something the other night. You know how they have the TED Talks, and then I think you suggested some variation of that.
Yeah.
I think if we come up with something that's really clean on that, okay, I mean, that might be the way to go as well.
Yeah. The TED Talks, as far as TikToks, not talks, TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Spelled differently, so no suing will happen.
All right, then I'm in. So she closed me on that. So if we could only close John Traver on some of these tough decisions too, that would be fantastic.
We'll get him. We'll get him there.
Yeah, I know. He was a great guest. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. Glad you're safe. You've had a long day, and get home safe today as well.
Well, I'm happy to be here, Ted. Everybody have a wonderful night. Hope you enjoyed our random show tonight, because I know Ted and I did. But thanks everybody for watching. On behalf of myself and Ted Ings, we'll see you next Monday at 8 p.m.